artists, we have a major project coming up. And for that major project, you're going to be asked to take something small and draw it really big. So to do that, I have a technique that I'm going to show you, a technique that all artists use called gridding. Now, gridding allows you to take an image, something like this. You should have a Hobbs with you in the worksheet just like this, to take a Hobbs and to turn it into a bigger version using another grid. Now, as an artist, I use this for murals and things like that. Let me find you an example of that. Here's a mural I did. That mural is the size of a wall, and the way I made it was by making a grid design first on a notebook. I drew my design, and I put a bunch of grid squares on it. That's on a notebook. And then, when I got to the house of the family for whom I was creating the mural, I drew all those squares again on the wall. And then I was able to paint inside the squares and get the image just the same size. That thing I'm holding, that's my original drawing. That's how small it was, and that's how big I made it. So we're going to practice this technique, because when you create your portrait, your pet portrait, which is what we're working on, and you use a small photo to make a big painting, you're going to need to know how to do this technique. So please pull out your Hobbs paper and follow along. So in gridding, there's two techniques you need to use. And we're going to be using them at the same time. They are called square by square and follow the line. So you have your little grid and your big grid. Square by square means that you work one square at a time. You don't draw here and then jump over there and then jump over here. If you try and do that, you're going to confuse yourself. And follow the line means that you remember where you left off and continue moving. So let me show you how they work. Square by square, so we're going to start in our top square. And what do we see here? We see that there is something in this square. I see a little line that's halfway across and halfway in the middle, so I'm going to mark right here. And then if I look on the other sides, I also see about 2/3 of the way up, I have a little line. And a bit above that is another one. And it's a lot thicker, but for time, I'm not going to copy exactly the thickness. Now they meet in a U shape together. And this line from the side of his face comes up. And then where those other lines met, they curve over. And I'll go ahead and draw that in. All right, now I have my very first square done. So now you're going to see how I connect. Now that I've drawn this space, I need to move on to this next one. So I'm going to follow the line. I'm going to see where my line left off, and I'm going to right there, and I'm going to continue it. That's right there. And then I'm going to continue this one as well, and this, it looks like it goes all the way across, up to the ear, fold over, curve over here, come back down. This is where we have our fur start. And these come across in a wave. We've got a thick ear right here. Again, I'm just following exactly what the picture shows me. And a stripe right there. And then I want to check if I've missed anything, and it looks like I have. I've missed the fuzzies over here. So I'm going to finish this V shape, and then I have a V shape here, and another one next to it with a dot above. Okay, now I'm ready to move to the next one. Is there something here? Yes, it's very small, but it's there. Oh, looks like I missed a tiny line. Okay, and that tiny line connects up at this place, and then it goes over about a third of the way. And is there anything in this square? No! So now we move down to the next row, because we're still going square by square, and we're going to follow this line to finish this shape. We notice it's about a third, curve it out, put in our dots for eyes, for hobs, and then now this part is kind of hard to know where to draw it, so I'm going to go ahead and skip down to the hand first and put in his paw, and then draw in the nose. Okay, and now I've got the fingers that come inside right here. Curl up again right there. Then I can move to the next space. Square by square. This has a curve. We have some little marks. Don't forget to add those. Connect it down to the corner. Connect right there. And let's go ahead and finish this square off. It's very tempting to skip a square, but if I do, I might forget his stripes. So I don't want to do that. And then my next square over, I'm going to follow the line, finish that stripe of fur, that bit of fur, come in here and make a line shape. And it has a tiny little bit right there in the corner. And then is there anything here? No! So I can go to the next space. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause so that you guys can see the progression. Okay, and now my Hobbs is complete. There he is. So I went square by square, which means I copied one square at a time, and followed the lines, which means that when I left a line, I used that place where I left off to continue. And that made my Hobbs a good replica of the original Hobbs. So I want you to go ahead and try that with yours. And remember that this technique is one we're going to use. And as another reminder for you amazing 4th grade kiddos, please if you have a pet, we're going to be making portraits of them using this gridding technique. So I would like you or your parents to or your family, to take a picture of your pet and send it to your teacher. You can send it to them on Blooms, and then they can get it to me. Okay? Again, if you have a pet, take a picture of your pet and have your family send it to your teacher on Blooms. If you don't have a pet, let your teacher know. I have lots of pictures to choose from as well. Okay, that's all. Thanks.